Sovereignty is obeying the quiet yes. Ah, Here's my wooden puzzle toy to take apart. Attempt to again. The pine cone is back. Look at this pine cone. I see you, pine cone. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you today. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot to this one. And I want to start with discussing what sovereignty means to me. Yeah, so for the past handful of years, I've enjoyed having a yearly theme, which is for me a word that is resonant with something I want to grow into or become more or have more of, like, energetically or in the rhythms of my life. And 2025 is my year of sovereignty. So what does sovereignty mean to me? Yeah, there's an honoring of who I am and like who I am right now. That's sovereign, and that can go against like what people know about me or what they might expect of me or what makes sense to do. There's like a soul's calling or like passions or like little pings of, hey, maybe try this or explore this or talk to that person or research those things. And where do those little whispers come from? Like life experience or memories or randomness or something in my environment cueing me there. Regardless of like the source of like those messages, to me sovereignty is noticing them and deciding like, oh yeah, like that feels like resonant and true and something I want to explore, like take the next step. And as you take every step, the next step reveals itself. So for my year of sovereignty, I am really getting like honest and raw with myself about like what are these messages and what feels correct and true and resonant and authentic and alive for me to do and explore and pursue. I've probably given a different definition. I'm sure I wrote about it in like December or January a few months ago in a monthly newsletter I have. But there's where it's at right now. That's my current feeling into sovereignty. It's coming apart. Progress. Oh. Okay. So. Sovereignty is obeying the quiet yes. When I'm deciding like how to spend my time, I have a lot of free time right now. What to do, how to be, who to be. There are times where I'm very fortunate. This happened before 2025. I'll share a few examples where I get a ping or a little whisper to like try this thing. Like maybe I see someone else doing it. I'm like, oh yeah, that I could see how that feels for me to try. Oh yeah. Hold on here. Like one example is I've been offering a coaching, like life coaching service, one-on-one calls over Zoom for a little over a year. And I'm not like formally qualified to do that. I don't have the like counseling degree or some like training program or container where you study this stuff for dozens or hundreds of hours to become qualified. I've done none of that. And I still felt called to go for it. And to do so in integrity, like that's extremely important to me. Like, I've always been forthright about my, lack of formal qualifications. And one way I stayed in integrity with the initial offering was to offer free sessions through my newsletter. So I knew there'd be like an equivalent exchange of, my attention and presence on a person's situation, whatever they share with me, knowing that they're not at financial risk if what I do or say doesn't feel good for them, or if it doesn't, like, if I waste their time, at least I'm not wasting their money too. And that felt correct as the initial flavor of that offering. Just through repetition and my own personal development since that initial offering in like February of last year, I know that like there's something here with me where I am like providing value. I've like grown my skill set and tool set here of providing loving presence in these sessions and curiosity and attunement to the client, not needing them to be like changed or shifted at all, like a real letting go of wanting outcomes from our conversation. Just like pure presence with them and awareness of my emotional body as they share things with me, and like really doing my best to reflect back what they tell me, because we need to be on the same page about what they're telling me and my understanding of what they told me. So those are like a lot of my skills that I know I have that I bring to these coaching sessions. And I only felt okay to even start doing that because I felt a little whisper of like, hey, coaching, conversations, and shared presence with people for their benefit, to serve them. Let's go for it. And so there's an iterative process of talking about it and making a web page for it and setting up like scheduling and payment integration and all these different things, like branding and finding the name for it. All of that was sovereign of me to decide this is not anything I've done in my life before, but it is resonant, it is true, it feels aligned to pursue it. So I'm going to do so. People may think, how dare I, or I'm not qualified, or I'm harming people by doing this. And a piece of sovereignty as well is like letting people have their stories about me and accepting that people see me as they want to see me, and not trying to like make sure everyone's okay with whatever I do. They can distance themselves from me as is good for them. So I want to talk more about that quiet yes part. Because this is a newer thing in my life that I've gotten to come to understand. Because like life can be busy. Like there's a lot to do and people to connect with and goals to pursue all the time, and it can be easy to ignore these little whispers, these quiet yeses that can come through. This can also be like intuition. So this like interesting metaphor I've heard in a few independent contexts, and I guess I'll share it here too. I'm really curious about who first said this. They're like these little pings, these quiet yeses can like come through as like a feather, like onto your body, or like brushing against maybe your shoulder. And so that's really easy to ignore, like especially if you're like occupied doing something, like this feather can just like brush off of you, you barely notice it even. And so if something is resonant and aligned, it's gonna come back. Again, it's like a brick, metaphorically, like a brick on your shoulder. Now that's gonna hurt. But even still, you may be like distracted with something else, like tending to your wound, but you're only half with that impact of the brick, you're still busy with something else that is important to you or takes up your time. So if you ignore the feather and then you ignore the brick, here comes a Mack truck just to really hammer home the message that there's something for you to pay attention to. Like, also, what is a Mack truck? Is that M-A-C-K? Is that a brand? Is that like a moving van or an 18-wheeler? Anyway. Yeah, so ignore the quiet yes at your peril, because hopefully it'll come on more strongly. There's really something for you there to give your time and attention and energy. So I think one growth path for definitely myself and maybe others is to train myself to notice every quiet yes and discern is this an actual quiet yes, or is someone trying to get me to obey their yes, if that makes any sense. Because it can be nuanced there. Yeah, so for me, I've been so glad to be slow and still with myself, and I do different self-development things like the journaling and meditation helps me feel into what is mine and what is someone else's or the world's. So I get to know what is my quiet yes, what is my sovereign obedience of a quiet yes. And it's not easy or effortless. This can be a lifelong practice. I feel just in the kind of beginning stages of it. I feel glad to be in the beginning stages of it. Especially when there's pressure from someone else in your life or career situation or your physical environment to not obey that quiet yes. It's hard. And I honor and applaud anyone with the courage to seek to get to know their quiet yeses and how that might feel or in their body or mind. And try and honor through this path of sovereignty what is one of the things for them to do, or one of the ways for them to be in this lifetime. Yeah. I forgot to toss away the puzzle. Yeah, so that's sovereignty to me. That's the quiet yes, and that's how obeying the quiet yes informs my own sovereignty and being a sovereign person. Yep. All right, that's all. This has been day 13 of filming a vlog every day in April. Thank you for watching and listening, and I will see you tomorrow.